standing.
What map would you pick to live on forever if you're transported into the game?
Oh my God, that's a great question. What map would I want to live on? Probably Breeze. You know, it's kind of like the beach. It's nice. It's got some, you know, shops and stuff like that. Like, I like that vibe.
If I was to be transported in the game, I think I'd definitely pick Breeze just because it's like a nice tropical island. There's a lot of stuff too. There's literally like a shop in there. So like, if I want food, I can grab it there.
Since I'm from Hawaii, as I'm sure a lot know by now, I'd probably pick Breeze since that's like close to home and probably just chill on the beach like all day.
I would probably live on Split, I would say. Yeah, looks like they have good food there. A couple of shops, you know.
Breeze. I'm chilling on the beach for sure, whole time. Chilling in the castle on the hill, chilling on the beach. Breeze, easy.
100% Breeze. Just the beach and just survive. Having the ocean like right there, and survive 100%.
Definitely not Fracture. I'm thinking Lotus, bro. Lotus seems kind of like a nice place to live. Or Breeze. You know, like on an island or something. No, this isn't that bad.
If I had to pick a map to live on from Valorant, I mean, I live in Quebec, so I could probably live in the Icebox. But it's probably not the most fun. Let me think. Lotus seems pretty fun now. Probably Lotus. That's good. A little bit of sand, a bit of trees and stuff. I like that.
I would pick Pearl because, you know, you got like, there's like music, there's like a restaurant, there's, you know, I think there's a lot there. There's like a Coliseum, stuff like that. Breeze. I don't know if that counts, but it's on the map pool, but I think I'd pick Breeze. We have like a team house. My old Sentinels team house was like way up there in the Bahamas, so I have that land, I own it, I have the deed. So I kicked everybody else out that's on the team now, and I live up there.
If I could live on any Valorant map, it would probably be Split, because there's vents there, and I like vents.
Okay.
All right, it took a hot second going into this, but ultimately, in the end, on their map pick, G2 are going to take our first map here in overtime up against the Guard. I was a little worried at first, Tanner, when we got to see the fact it was going to be the Split run back, considering how this went down earlier in the day for G2. But hey, a little bit of redemption has to feel good, right?
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking. I think it became a little less uneasy once G2 started getting it figured out towards the end of the first half. A little scary that their first round comes in way of Oxy having to do super clutch things. Penny obviously having a good game as well. But yeah, I definitely think a big question was how much tank is left. How much tank is left in the gas? Oh man, I guess yeah. I'm not even playing it. I guess it's been a long game. Yeah. How much gas is left in the tank? And G2 showed just enough to be able to claw their way back into this one and cross the finish line.
Yeah, they're gonna have to dig deep because they need a little bit more tank in their gas. No, I'm just kidding. The job is not done. But being able to take this first maps definitely has to feel good for them in this situation.
Yeah, what are Do gonna eye, Tanner? You know, I look at Dapper, and you know, we talked about it. Dapper felt like his last series was largely underwhelming. He does get a little bit better here today. 21 and 19, 223 ACS. It's not too shabby for the Cypher main, but what's more impressive is the 5 first bloods. Something we actually didn't highlight when we talked about him at the top of the show. Sitting very high on that chart when it comes to Sentinel mains with the first bloods. It's pretty impressive as well, but it's hard not to highlight the performance coming in from Ned as well. The counterpart to his Cypher. 30 and 18, 309 ACS, 5 first bloods. Did pretty much everything they possibly could to try to claw the series away from G2, or at least keep them from taking it. Unfortunately, they land a little bit short. And honestly, man, I kind of feel like Guard lost this. Like, I don't want to discredit what G2 did, but Guard had the game, like, right there. All they had to do was just find, like, a few more rounds, close out the game, and they'd be moving into map 2 with an advantage, but they just fumbled the bag, like, right at the tail end. And it feels like they just kind of ran out of ideas, and we were talking about it. What made G2 good at this map, and they actually said it in the post-match interview yesterday, and it was something we didn't see from them in their earlier series, was their mid-rounding and their adjustments, their reads, and how they adapt. And that was what was working at least a little bit for the Guard. And then all of a sudden they were just like, A hit, B hit, A hit. It was like very static. All 5 players coming out the same side. and it was very much like they had just run out of ideas. A little bit of mental exhaustion potentially. I'm not really sure what to call it, but it was disappointing to see the guard land a little bit short. But it's also exciting to see G2 end up clawing back the comeback.
Well, and it was also in that, hitting A, hitting B, we did see glimpses of should be brilliance where they're
Right.
trying to sell fakes. They're hard slamming out through mid, threatening pressure up into B heaven. But all of that gets erased when you look back to, again, the game that Penny had and the game that Dapper had, where on defense, at the very least, it was so hard to get through sites. If Dapper was still alive, he was usually finding 3. Shazam would then be there to help, and then out towards the B site. I think it was round 20 where Dapper is bouncing back and forth. He finds a kill. The Cosmic Divide goes up. He ults a body. He's still dancing around. Like, it's just insane. This was one of those games where it was really hard to find a crack and breakthrough for the guard.
And ultimately, too, kudos to G2 for the 5 in a row and making sure that the guard couldn't be closing out and stealing their map pick off of them, because it's definitely been a long day for them. The marathon's not over yet. We'll have to see if we can continue that moving on forward. We talked about the map pool. This wasn't necessarily a surprising map pool. It was just the order that we're going to see it in. And the guard picking up Haven for our map 2, Bach.
Yeah, I mean, this is a map that guard has felt pretty comfortable on. We have seen G2 have decent results. I wouldn't classify this as a very strong map for G2. While they've found wins, their most recent adventure on the map really felt like Oxy basically dragged them across the finish line a little bit harder than he should have to. He definitely stepped up big for the team and filled in a lot of gaps. So anytime a mistake was made, he was there to pick up the pieces and again, find them the win. So there is a chance that the guard can end up taking this to a map 3. It's a pretty strong chance at that. It was looking like, though, it was going to be a 2-0 after that first map going the way that it did. There is the question of whether or not G2 will have the staying power in the series to take guard as deep on maps 2 and 3 as they did just there on map 1, because Split is comfortable territory, and while Haven and Ascent aren't unfamiliar, it's just a matter of are they as good as the guard is going to be on those maps.
I do want to mention, though, that the guard haven't looked the best. We talked about coming up into mid-season face-off. Wow, the guard really haven't had to show any maps. And I was an actual believer that they don't have to show those maps. And if they don't have to, they're not going to, but they will be strong. And then we finally see Oxy, they get Haven out of them. Or Oxygen, excuse me, they get Haven out of them. And then they beat the guard and push the guard to a map 3. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe Haven wasn't as strong for them. Then they play M80. Things get a little weird on M80, on Haven against M80, and the guard lose that one as well. So it doesn't feel great for the guard here in Haven to make their way to this map after losing a very heartbreaking map number 1. But I will say that, again, much like we said about G2 in the last series, where they've got these veterans, this team, this core, which is now just a core 5, I would say, Tech's being, well slotted in. I don't think they're going to let that get to them, right? I do think that they are going to find a way. That's just the guard way.
Also, in defense, too, the guard, I mean, when you're talking about Oxygen Esports, Haven is just like a type of map for them. It was one they took off of G2 as well. G2, I wonder about their Haven, because what I've seen, I haven't necessarily, they've been able to take wins on it. I am not necessarily confident in, when you've been playing all day, how their Haven will look. But people that the guard and G2 have gone up respectively on Haven have definitely been people who are very strong and Haven connoisseurs, you might say.
Yeah, you're looking at the teams that they've beaten, looking specifically at G2. They played FaZe Clan, they beat them 13-8. But if you watch that game, it wasn't like the cleanest Haven you've ever seen. That was the game where we're talking about Oxy really stepping to the plate and basically doing everything possible to keep his team from losing in a series that they were expected to come into as heavy favorites and just crush their opposition. They also have a group stage loss against teams that they shouldn't have lost to. They've lost this to Oxygen and Turtle Troop, which on paper at the time didn't feel like maps they should lose. Now, Oxygen, we've come to know, is a team that is very competent on Haven, a very strong team in their own right as well. But Turtle Troop is definitely not the type of team you would expect to beat G2 on this map. And then you look at guard and sample size is pretty small in challengers. They've only really played it twice. They lost it and they had a close game against M80 of 13-11. But you have to watch back the way the game played. there was definitely a very strong attacking side half coming out from the guard. If I remember correctly, they put up 8 rounds on the attacking side. It's very similar to what just happened basically on Split. They need to just get to the finish line. They get real close.
Yeah.
And then it's like that video of the marathon runner, like stumbling around at the end of the finish line, just losing all muscle control. Like they need to just find the energy to get past those last few feet to carry it over for the dub.
And I know last series we asked Oxygen to take some risks with their map pool. I'm wondering if we see those risks taken here against G2. They had a comp once we got into this with the double duelist, and then they went away from it, maybe put Penny on something he might not be as comfortable on. But I think in these dire straits where you want to close this out, you would hate to have a map 3 after the last couple of days that you've had for G2. Maybe they do go back to allowing Penny to spread his wings, put him on a duelist alongside Oxy.
Neon, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm a big fan of Neon on this map. I think that it could work well.
I honestly also a Neon fan, and with elimination on the line, it would be really cool to see a Neon as teams are trying to get into the grand finals. I don't know if it'll happen, but the agent select is here with their casters, so sauce it over and see.
Guys, it's been a long day. It's been a long 2 days. We're up till 1 a.m. casting, and I feel like we're going to be in the long run one more time. G2, 15-13 was split. Now on Haven, Gus. I'm feeling like we could go to a map 3 here. I'm excited to see what G2 have, and I think I'm kind of in agreement with Bach. The way that they played against FaZe on this map was a lot of, you know, Oxy. Like, there's no question about it, dude. You could make a whole highlight montage that's 10 minutes long of just the dude with his blade storm. Like, that's how good he was on that map. And so it's worrying for G2. We said that about Split too. I say that again here about Haven just because of how heavy they relied on Oxy, but who knows, man? Sometimes G2, all they need is that individual ability coming out from one of them.
Again, I think that's the evolving play style of G2 on this map because they've changed this composition so many times. The desk mentioned it. We've gone into playoffs with a double duelist comp, and they've changed entirely. Now they're for the last two games, they've switched from Sky to Sova, and again, roles keep being swapped at that. G2 just can't seem to find footing on this map. But let's see what happens with the comps. Maybe they do have something different. It's been what, 2 days since the last game?
Yeah, it's been a little bit since G2 have played with a double duelist, and I would hate to think that we're going to go back to it. Yeah, the Omen, KJ, Jet all seem to be making sense. Now, for the side of the guard, it could be a whole different story, but it's not. The only time they pulled out this Haven was very similar to Split, is they've only pulled out during the mid-season face-off. So this is one of the first times that we are seeing the guard play. It's the third time, and they've only played it twice in the mid-season face-off. So it's a pocket pick, it felt for them. Maybe something they kept safe during Split 1. Again, they're coming off of 2 losses, 2 very close losses to Oxygen and M80. So they're not a horrible team on this map, given, despite their record, they're a team that can be formidable on it. But now they're coming off of 2 losses. What do you learn from those losses, and how are you going to change it here against G2?
The good thing is that, again, the guard, when they did falter, it was on their defensive side, so at least they start on the attack. At least they could start off on the right foot. G2, however, we're looking at a team that has only had hills and valleys throughout this entire season on this map.
And there's a stun already from Penny trying to funnel these players back towards mid-window, where it looks like Oxy and Whippy are going to try to get aggressive in. And even a fight from Dapper towards Garage is an early aggressive look here from G2. They don't push out. Instead, they just get mid-control. But this turret here from the guard is going to be massive. It gives a lot of mid-control. They know no one's pushed down towards mid. No one's walked out of Garage. And so they don't really have to worry about this area just yet.
Well, maybe it's a false sense of confidence, too. Look how many players there are. The lack of contacts that there are in mid. Shazam just walks up on his own into A ramp, and nobody is able to take him down. But again, over towards C. They did have a turret here for the contact. It got tapped, but nobody's here on C to actually cover.
And Dax has just walked all the way up. And Dapper is completely oblivious to this possibility. And that's where the rest of the guard begin to rotate.
Surely they feel it.
They didn't catch Dapper. I think he doesn't know just yet. And Dapper might get the head spin. Yes, he does, and he gets the kill.
That's huge, but there's another one still somehow in mid. Jonah P looking to go away. C finally getting planted on. But look at this, over in snipers. Good push from Whippy. Neutralizing the threat, the lurker very early on. No more time being wasted for this team making the retake. G2 only have 2 more players to deal with. Both of them are in the middle of sight. Barely any utility to use here. They're all the way on the open. Penny takes down Tex. Trent is the last one to go. G2 on the right foot.
The team fight works out extremely well. They hold on to Whippy's paranoia, which gets them access to that side. And G2 establishing a lot of early control towards A main. Felt like maybe they were just playing a retake from the get-go over here towards C, and it works out very well in their favor to play that retake as a unit. That's the first round on the board, and G2 off to a strong, strong start.
Thankfully, the guard were cooking. A whole lot back over towards C. But that call from G2, that early round call for that 3-man, 4-man push. Shazam. Don't exactly know him to be that creative, but his mid-rounding has been praised a whole lot going into this tournament. It's good to see G2 pulling something wild out of their sleeve.
From that last map, I look at that and think the guard left a lot of open gaps, and in the mid rounds, that's where Shazam shines, right? As you were just saying. The gaps that the guard had in their offense, Shazam picks up very quickly, and so despite, you know, efforts from Net, who, by the way, played extremely well in that last one, 30 kills.
You gotta be fucked.
Before we even got to overtime.
30 kills, but still.
Trent on 25 as well, so it was two bolstered performances between those guard players, but still not enough to win out that map. So they come into this next map still with the, I think, heat that Net and Trent carry over from the last, but now it's about, hey, once we get to that position, we just gotta close it out.
Oh, what a slap down from Oxy. That flick is nasty. Still 2 more players to deal with, and might just be Shazam with the double. Penny's there to deal with him. So there you go, G2 at least keeping the economy clean. Going into the next, we could finally see that attack side of the guard. Again, did not see the guard play on this map go into playoffs.
Oxy's gonna have the operator here. He doesn't pick this up too often, but Haven is probably the one map where we have seen him pick it up, and the multiple times they've played against Oxygen Turtle Troop. He's not the best defensive player. I think Haven is kind of where that issue truly shines, and that's surprising because of how good this map is for Oppers. And Oxy, he's going to pick it up here towards Sewers, where he could get a real big chance to get some kills. The stun forces him off the angle. Maybe G2 not anticipating the punish from the guard.
Shazam, he picks up the same exact position. Surely they try to clear this, right?
I think that you have to, right? Because there's just so much time passed over.
Yeah, now there has.
And now everyone's rotated here from G2, and this lurk from Net again. Yeah, the timing of that unfortunate nanostorm gives Net an opportunity to slip through. This is a C site given up. And a lurk here again towards C is what gives them an opportunity to get the spike down. G2 playing on a 4-on-4 retake. They do have rifles here. They are at a man disadvantage, which makes things a little bit more difficult. There's some utility to get the retake going, that being the dart and the flashes between Whippy and Penny.
With this off angle, it's just another opportunity to make that man advantage go higher. The guard now up to a 5v3.
G2 saving. Not a lot of options to get this retake going, so I think it's smart to pick up the op. You can pass that on to Oxy and look at Dapper's money. He's going to be able to buy moving forward. This was the bonus again from G2, so walking away with these 3 rifles, you're going to be fine moving into next with another buy. But I wonder what the theme is going to be for this attacking side of the guard. Eventually on split, things kind of stagnated with these execs, and the guard felt a little uninspired in the mid-round at times and a little bit confused as to where to go. But these early site hits are probably going to be the biggest thing that the guard have going for them, and the fake towards A, the lurk towards C, that'll have to be something I think G2 have to be wary of, is that Net lurk. They haven't really seen him lurking at all. That's the only issue in these last 3 rounds. They haven't spotted Net on lurks whatsoever, and Net's just kind of been roaming the map undetected, so they don't know that that's present yet.
Brought up the op impact. Oxy, the maps where he's lost, usually averages around 3 to 4 kills on the op. When they're winning, we're looking at about 6 to 7. Oxy, when he is popping off on the op on this map, sure G2 is in front. He's looking for the peek back over towards A main. But again, the guard.
I think
they've always been placing a turret early, but this time in a very different location. Nobody has contacted it yet.
Should end here towards B, it looks like. They drop the alarm bot, check over towards A main. No one's really pressured towards C. They're just watching for any pushes. But look at where G2 are now. They've posted Oxy up on the operator here towards A. The rest of G2 kind of lining up here towards mid. Penny's in a spot where he can send an aftershock. Shock darts can be played, and this is a fake here from Tex. You wanted to break any alarm bot there. And breaking an alarm bot, if there was any util from the KJ over towards C Garage, it would force a player to play towards there. And surprisingly, the guard are going back the other way.
Playing drone.
Oxy trying not to get peeked. Trying not to get revealed by the owl drone. Doesn't see him. Has an opportunity for an easy first pick. Indeed, it's his. Still has even more opportunities to not only get another kill, still has a Blade Storm to help himself out around the corner. Jonah P, is he going to check his right corner? It doesn't even matter. The late peek from Shazam, it almost catches a few off.
And they're running back over here towards C. A last second ditch, or maybe not. Are they going back towards mid? This seems like it's going to be a mid play here. And there's no one here to receive just yet, but there's no aftershock for Penny.
No util.
And Penny needs to fight. He gets across to the site here, and he's going to try to contest.
In the back, Tex is just hunting for the frag onto Penny, but with Penny gone, surely Jonah P goes too. Whippy with a second frag, Trend in a 1v5, picks up the first, but only one goes under his belt. There goes G2, a huge momentum swinging round.
And this is kind of the theme from Split, is that it feels a little uninspired from the guard at times. In these mid rounds, it feels like they don't exactly have a game plan to make an exec happen. And that was kind of this round. On a pinpoint. They get caught out. They don't take A control. They try and retake it, losing the fight to Oxy, and then they just try and scramble for a B hit. I think G2 have got the right game plan of pressing guard early in these defensive rounds and taking a lot of the map away from them and force them to play to their standards.
It's not what you expect from the guard.
C site.
No op contact, but they're going to be fighting for the orb. Wow. Random shot from Whippy. But again, the guard.
Attacks.
They've given up A main entirely. And look how deep Oxy is.
Enemy tagged.
Sam is going to spot a couple players outside of B as well. That's at least 2 guaranteed, so you're a little bit worried about this B hit, and I think Shazam's smart to back away. I'm looking at Penny. Where's this aftershock going to come in? You can deny the plant here, and the alarm bot would have vulnerable player, so one tick would bring him down to 120. But they come back in towards Garage. To dart to get space and to clear things out. But the turret gets info. That's a great fault line response there from Penny. Slowing things down and force them to go a different way. 45 seconds left. A probably not going to be on the cards here for an exit as Oxy's still maintaining that control. And yet Shazam is still here towards A for some reason.
It's just very awkward.
Oh, I get it. I get it. The smoke just faded, so there's a chance he could have slipped through sewers.
Left.
So G2 not playing with the full info that I thought they had.
Right, the alarm bot I thought would be enough for that, but it clearly isn't. Here we go. Gonna be the shot out from Shazam. Shazam has finally shifted over, and it's gonna be a double. The aftershock pushing them to the link. Valen does get one back, a huge one for Net, but they still haven't cleared out Penny. Penny with a big frag. Net now in a 1v2. Doesn't know where the second one is. A player coming from bottom mid. Swinging him now is Oxy. Pumping him down. 4th round for G2.
And he's pacey with it as well, Oxy. You can see how big this A main control is for G2. Because it's allowing them to take a 3-sided map and basically cut it down to 2 sites. They can put 2 on B, 2 on C, turret in Garage, and Oxy's kind of just this immobile player on A that's continuing to maintain the control. And the guard have had no response whatsoever. They're not fighting for a main control, they're giving it up to G2 here. And it's giving them opportunities like this to say, hey, well, we know it's going to be a B hit, we know it's going to be a C hit, and they're having Penny hover around this really nice area where his aftershock denies the plan on B, and the fault line can retake Garage. Now the guard are starting to recognize their faults, and they're going to try and contest here towards the A site.
Feels very fluid. For what it is such a big map. Guard facing a lot of adversity.
One gets popped out really early here from Trent. He gets a tag, and he's going to go hunting with it.
I was about to say they're scrambling for some sort of option, and the Hunter's Fury seems to be that option. They get something big with the Hunter's Fury there, and they even have a lockdown to use.
Now Penny with the operator picked up from Oxy. The C site's the least of their concerns because they have the lockdown for the retake and the KJ setup.
Whippy
So
wants to
again,
kill too.
the way G2 are playing it, it's cutting down this 3-sided map into literally just 2 sites by playing retake on one or posting one single player there. And Dapper's just maintaining backside control. I think the goal here for G2 is to retake Garage and use this lockdown if it gets shaky. But in a 3 versus 5, there shouldn't be many troubles getting back into this site.
Yeah, the only...
I thought for a second I wasn't going to use it, but he does.
Yeah, the only contest would probably be over towards Garage if they do want to end up using lockdown. Here we go. Great Paranoia is going to leave. Tex in a 1v1. He clean 1v1 against Dapper. Kill going back towards Trent. Trent has a double. 2v2 out of nowhere. Paranoia does chase him, but he's still somehow alive. Trent scrambling. Valen 1v1 now. Huge kill onto Whippy. Oxy looking to ninja defuse, but now he's playing. He's shifting. Valen!
A 1 versus 2 eBay clutch in G2 on a very light buy from the guard. Losing out the round. Big swing from Tex here. Big swing from Tex. Gives Valen an opportunity to slip into his own smoke and isolate 1v1s. It was messy for both sides. Someone has to become the victor. And this round it was the guard. They used 2 ultimates as well. Or apologies, just 1. Shazam using his Hunter's Fury. And it's a big draw out from the guard. They have to feel rewarded from that last round.
Feel a lot.
To counter Oxy in this position. He's trying to prevent Oxy from getting full control with the operator angle.
They've always maintained that same piece of util. But in terms of positioning, G2 have changed up their A-hold a whole lot. Double long at one point. Always just a single short. But no early contact whatsoever. The guard. Shift back to mid instead.
Deploying drone.
This is a lot better of a hold for G2 too. They actually have an alarm bot finally in B.
Henny could get 1 kill after shock, and you can definitely play here.
1 kill, Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, exactly, the Rolling Thunder. Both lockdowns coming into effect, so G2 will have this space back. And they're more than likely win the engagement towards B, so that will force the guard to go back to a different site. Whippy in the backside has got a Paranoia, nothing to cue it though.
Still have a Nano to delay too if they just want to click it. There it is, Nano. Paranoia funnels them, and the Rolling Thunder coming in. Tex
is hit by it.
Yeah, Tex stunned, but still Trent hasn't been hit by it. Everyone else on site sure has. Shazam can't get his way onto site, and instead walks right into the crosshairs of Tex. For the guard, that was all a piece of cake.
Hop in towards C, and forcing G2 on an instant save. Tex stunned, still got a kill onto Whippy in the back site. For now, it's Oxy looking for these exits. Whatever he can get would be nice, but they're not really going to contest this fight too much. Exchanging ultimates. Henny's not going to have his Rolling Thunder online. G2 letting guard slip through with a 3rd round. A very nice contact in towards C. After getting forced off the B angle, I think the simple thing there is just pop in towards C with the Rolling Thunder. And I think it works only because of the Rolling Thunder really catching both the players in the backside.
I've seen so many positions, or so many times that reposition for the guard. Already 3 times. 2 of them not exactly going right, but at least this time it's actually repositioned back over towards C. Just don't understand how, again, just the 1 Rolling Thunder was able to do it. Sometimes that's really all it needs, all that's necessary.
It's called a Rolling Thunder for a reason. It rolls, and I think the Nanoswarm popped very early from Dapper. And then immediately after following up with the Rolling Thunder. So no one was kind of lacking behind the entry from Tex. Everyone followed in with them. And now the guard are the ones to call this timeout. It's G2. Op still available for Oxy, and they have 1 more rifle to work with as well. There is still a buy up in the air here. And I wonder if they're going to move Oxy around the map. Yes, he's been very good at taking control of A, but now that you know that Tex is an operator, he's more than likely going to be looking to counter Oxy, because most of these angles, except for C, he's got the advantage. C and B, I should say. So he always has the advantage on A. And Oxy's been upping a lot towards sewers. So I want to see them shift Oxy around with this operator and kind of get him in different angles that are going to be a little bit off angle-y against the guard. Yeah, he's going to walk down towards mid, and he's going to try and reinforce it. There's some util here to assist him as well. I like this. Switching it up early.
You wanted Oxy to push, get somewhere different. He's over towards that mid side. Not able to find anything behind the boxes. That's some big information. G2 already trying to clear double doors, but the guard simply playing how an eco should be played. Together, relying on information, solid information.
And playing together here, G2. No one on A. Shazam sent a dart and instantly backed away, but Tex just full cleared long with an updraft. So, guard more than likely looking to end here towards A, but they are still playing a lot slower for this A exec. Seeing if they can catch anyone in rotation, because they know G2 have the lesser guns. So G2's response is probably going to be try and close the gap, get into their face with the Sheriff's Stinger, create an advantage for themselves by getting aggressive and taking a risk. The guard get none of that. So now the exec begins to funnel its way over towards A. Shazam playing off-site. Probably just going to try to deny the spike plant. He goes towards heaven where the shock darts can get some damage.
30 seconds
That's
left.
really about it.
There they are.
I like the idea, though, from G2 and mid. Just the compounding chaos. If they were to see just a single person from the guard. Well, this type of setup, too, there's no real commitment needed from Oxy or Penny here. Penny could still try, but Oxy, they're still very much going for this. Oh my goodness. Oxy on the front side getting eliminated by Tex. Yet another kill going towards Tex. 2 more players remaining, but again, they still have a rifle to be able to use to potentially take away a few from the guard.
Wait, hold up. There's a rolling thunder here as well, and I'm wondering if Dapper is just going to save the op, or what's the deal here? And it looks like they are.
Yep.
Thought for a second something could happen, but nothing really. It's G2 tied up now with the guard for a piece. A couple more kills would be nice, but nothing really they could do there. And Penny, you know what you have to do. You just kind of got to run away here, not lose the operator. It's probably the biggest thing. The op for Oxy moving forward. He can get a drop. He is. Oh my gosh, he's actually getting caught down very heavily here. And he loses the op as well. There's enough cash for the guard to risk that kind of investment of a hunt, and it works out very well in their favor.
G2, it's not like they're out of the woods, of course. Still very much with a buy. Again, Penny. Just trying to see if he's actually going to try to set up Oxy in this round, because again, we haven't seen too many of those aggressive aid main pushes. That's where the guard are.
Oxy, this time without the op, has to play with just the Vandal. And there's Tex with his own. Catching Whippy, just jump spotting. And guard taking advantage of the op on the attack of Haven. That's a very uncommon thing to say.
Now for G2. No more smokes for the rest of the round. Retake options are a little bit restricted. See them trying to get a little bit more creative with that too. 2 players trying to push up A main. They're just playing around the alarm bot though. This could go crazy.
Guard's gonna reveal Penny here in a second. Okay, Oxy and Tex trading blows. Shazam, he's the second player here and he wins the fight. He wins another. Shazam, the eyes yell, picking up the cap. Takes down 2 lives. Now a little bit more. Gets 1 shot, needs to back away. Yes, just back away here, Shazam. 40 seconds left. It's up to the guard to now make a play.
Super safe, and Penny still has a rolling thunder.
Oh, don't fight too much.
30 seconds.
Whoa! They're just rolling right into their own spawn.
They into Dapper. That's what they wanted.
That's genius.
So well. Dapper was in a prime spot to receive both of those players jumping into him, and well placed there from Penny.
Just the idea there again. You always have Dapper on some sort of lurk. But for him to be on the mid side, ready for a rolling thunder, what a call.
1 enemy remaining.
Works out extremely well. With low HP on VALORANT already, he was bound to win these kinds of fights. They take the lead back here, G2. No financial hardships for the guard whatsoever, though, if we're going to head into the later parts of this first half. Hunter's Fury here for Trent. Might be looking to punish here early on the C site. He holds the dart. That deep smoke is going to hurt the guard with their info. Look at this play. Oxy out towards long. Deep smoke towards C. It's full control here right now for G2. And the play here is Trent's going to send a dart to try and get a player like towards the logs area with this Hunter's Fury and try and just pave a way for the players in garage. But if Penny's going to put out shots like that, then you're not really going to work with too much going into this site.
A little tough. That's just net. Not a lot of util. Post plant's definitely going to get hurt, but they still have Tax. Tax looking for the dash. Escape can still try to go for yet another pick with this dash. Here comes Whippy. Whippy in the back of sight. Has two, and Dapper's right next to him. Everyone from the guard goes down in an instant.
A great hold from G2. Big fight won by Penny, and then the plans kind of just fall apart there because you're hoping you can get net in a position to lurk towards B as that Hunter's Fury kind of kicks everything off and towards C, and everyone on G2 is focused on just getting through B and getting into the next site. 6-4 here. G2 guaranteed at least a tied scoreline. They're looking very strong here in this first half. They just need to close out this first half here. It's a lighter buy here for the guard, and I wonder if Oxy's prepared for a double up trap. Didn't see it this time around. He's going to play the smoke.
He backs out very silently.
I think it's smart to do that. I don't even know if he has a shorty on it, but if he did, pop, pop in the middle of smoke.
Nobody bites on. Nosebleed. Absolutely gonna pressure out Oxy, but again, he still has some space to work with, but it gets closed down. That paranoia, good. Tex looking to close down, but doesn't work out. Shazam in a huge position. Nobody's cleared him, and he's able to get two. Two from Shazam equalizes the round on just that one position alone. You still have so many options here. Jonah P in the back of sight. G2 pushing out alone.
There's no fault line here for Penny to get into sight. Jonah P's got one of his own, and this should be the round. Shazam had to go nuclear. Dapper walking out with Paranoia, looking for any kind of trade, and there's nobody there. The swings are ready from the side of the guard, and we are 6-5.
Last round.
As close as you can get to close out this first half. Up back in the hands of Tex. Up still available for Oxy here. So we've got ops on both sides. And ults to play with for each other. Shazam, man, if he gets that third, what a different round this could have been.
I mean, the double nanos were placed for flank. Both of them were already used by the end of that round.
Yeah, and that was honestly
possible.
Just such a nice exec as well. You talk about nanostorms from the guard. Hunter's Fury and the util forcing them into the Hunter's Fury. The way that Tex dashes in is it funnels everyone on G2 towards the defender spot. I forgot to mention that. It was really, really nice, but it was overlooked by the clutch attempt. It's Tex.
Ooh, the hair.
Sees a ponytail.
Ooh.
Oh, no, he should have waited.
Should have waited. Waited for even more of a threat from Ramp. You see Oxy, you'll take any chance that you can get to take down that guy.
Now he's got control because of the missed shot from Tex. Oxy assumes control. Nice smoke, though. Love that from the guard. Limiting Oxy's vision and almost forcing another player to play here with him on site.
Whippy, it's just the off angle that should be good for one, but it's not good for any. Still the second person around the corner. Dapper, such a huge position. The paranoia goes in, the TP goes out. Valen is gone.
There's a Hunter's Fury as well to boot here. Shazam, I think, was looking to get it down the gut of C-Long. But now with TP over towards the A site. Lockdown to confirm that this is going to be an A hit. I love this because that will solidify these rotations. But this timing could be huge. Shazam should just stick around here towards defender spawn.
They're re-hitting C. There's no one here.
Oxy hasn't seen anything.
30 seconds
so
left.
Shazam just needs to sit here and spawn with this Hunter's Fury. This could win them the round.
See, it's Shazam. Just needs the one lineup. They need a weird plant position here. 18 seconds left. There's more time for that Hunter's Fury to go absolutely off. 13 seconds left. 12. Hunter's Fury still going in, but there's nobody here to capitalize. Plant should be able to go down. Penny with a big kill, but still Plant in 3v4.
There's not a lot of util, but there's that rolling thunder that he got from the Plant. And
Jonah
Trent now getting aggressive, funneling them into the main man. And there comes Trent again. A huge double, leaving it on to Shazam, who's got a 1v3 and no util. And a shock dart already headed his way. An angry Tex already holding his ankle. We go 6-6 here on the half.
Jonah P.
Switching sides.
The X factor at the end of that round, but just because of that one rolling thunder, the elements aligned for him. Because again, just that one piece de la resistance ends up doing it towards their spawn. But what a half from realistically both teams. The guard had to fight so much to even make this scoreline happen.
Just look at the highlights. Back and forth between these two teams. If the first map was any indicator of how this series was going to go, this one's even more so. That first half even more so. G2 starting off dominantly, letting things slip and letting guard back into this game. Now on the attacking side, this is where Oxy is a menace. His better sides are always his attack. Specifically on this map, he likes to pop off. And it's all because of Penny. Can set him up like this. Split in towards C, but no one pressuring out towards long just yet.
Destroyed.
Now they're shaking their boots. The respect here from the guard. Leaving CY open.
A full retake now from the guard. And Whippy's gonna sit in this corner where he can catch players in rotation.
Just gonna be the one opportunity for Whippy, though nobody else here in this position with him. Right click whiffs. Still, the position for Dapper continues to inch up mid, and he might get one. He might get one in double door. Here comes the take in the back of sight. Net with a big one, but Shazam going big, but the kill still goes back in mid. Trent with a double. One more player remaining, though. Dapper's been here the whole time, ready and raring to go. The smoke should be going down. He has the line of sight. 53 HP, and Dapper is gone. The defuse is in.
It's hard to play those long angles with just a ghost. Guard giving respect, backing up, I like it. Just playing the retake together, you already had Tex in a really nice spot who pushed all the way towards a long, got control, and allowed that flank to happen. G2, letting the pistol round slip away to the guard. That will give them the bye here. We looked at that first half and we saw a lot of highlights from every single player. Net not putting up the numbers that we wanted, but still has been extremely solid as a KJ. And now on the defensive side, I think is where he can really shine here, Gus.
Again, the man dropped over 30 in the last map anyways. It's just an expectation.
Yeah.
But the man who has always been on his ish in terms of innovation, realistically, this entire team has historically been known for that innovation.
Him and Trent were on a mission in the last map. Now they've got to do it again. A date with M80. He got to the M80. The rivalry continues to brew up between those two teams, and Guard is just trying to play spoiler to all of it to prove that they're not a team to look down upon, and they haven't been whatsoever. Proving us wrong left and right, reverse sweeping Oxygen, taking the first map away from the Guard. Yes, it was their map pick, but we saw how shaky they looked on Split. And to play spoiler to all of this, it felt like Destiny that we had the Guard, and a lot of people felt it was Destiny, Guard, and M80 in the finals.
Oh yeah.
The way G2 have looked on this mid-season face-off, the way Oxy has always bounced back after a loss, gotta feel good here about G2's chances. And they do get the spike down. Low HP makes this very difficult.
And more importantly, the Guard has never once touched anyone from G2. Okay.
No way, Whippy.
Okay, never mind. Whippy getting two. Still two players in the middle of sight. Looking for some chaos. Net fully flashed. Valen with 2 more kills going back. Whippy now the last one remaining, but in a beautiful spot. Smoke covers him up. Huge kill. Only one. Oh! Whippy whips it up again.
Another clutch for this man. Served on a platter with the Guardian. First to Collat, and oh, big gun dropped, and big man picks it up. Of course, Whippy lines him up. It had to be this man to flip another massive Haven clutch. Tying up the scoreline, resetting the Guard, and giving G2 the steering wheel in this matchup.
They said they wanted the Guard. They wanted to go at it.
Guard.
7-7. Still disadvantageous for the Guard here, but again, G2. Again, when have we seen this team be undeniable? There have been so many questions about this team's form throughout the season, even though they ended 4-1.
Dex getting aggressive. This is the Guard's second time they've gone for the third time, apologies, they've gone for these kind of fast flanks, and G2 have recognized it. They put Shazam there to clear. Whippy from his last round to this one. Still keeping form here in the Guard. Not a lot of options to respond with. These players are very split apart, and G2 are working as a unit to retake A. And this tension is going to force the hand of Net to try and swing. he's ultimately not going to win it. Text down below. What do you need find here?
Remaining.
Nothing at all. G2 systematic in their clearing. Not a single shot landing onto them. And they're going to take this round easy peasy unless something absolutely crazy happens with this classic.
It just won't. Surely. Trent. For a random frag. Not going to be able to find absolutely anything. Let's go next. She's flawless. The guard. Staring down a deficit.
And it's difficult to make this comeback happen, especially when momentum swings so heavily to a team like G2. Oxy's a kid that feeds off the way his team is feeling.
One enemy remaining.
They like to get loud. We know Shazam's a loud man. And when he wants to get his team hype, he knows how to do exactly that. Guardian still in the mix here for Dapper. But a heavy look towards the seaside. There's Trent with the Hunter's Fury, but he's on the opposite side of the map, so he can't do anything. And it will put G2 in a position to just take the seaside.
The nano.
As basic as an exit as you can get.
Oh, look at that!
Full control of the stun keeps him in it.
G2, where have they been cooking this up? Have they been hiding this from us? Here they go.
Look at that.
Guard are coming out. Shazam needs to hold on. Oh, not able to get anything. You still have Valen and Tex on the front side. So much overwhelming pressure, but you still have Oxy in the backside. Needs to do a 1v4 here. Trent knows exactly where he is. One more player in the front of sight. Trent hasn't peeked. Trent is finally going. Oh my goodness!
No, Oxy's so close. Oxy's so close to getting the clutch, but Trent with a pixel perfect swing.
You failed.
Trading out Jonah P. And what a round between these two teams. Fault line Nanoswarm combo to catch net in rotation. Dies to the Nanoswarm. And then Jonah P. Trent fault line Hunter's Fury combination onto the spike planner. What a chaotic round between these teams. And what a round to display the true brilliance of these IGLs.
One enemy remaining.
8-8, neck and neck. Who pulls ahead here? 3 ultimates left for G2.
So many close ultis.
Another look over here towards the A side. Fault line. The established control.
5 ultis on the server with only 2 ult points. The guard, 3 players in the back of A.
And look at this already. The guard are backing away. They know the Rolling Thunder is the big threat here. And Dapper can get onto the Hunter's Fury. Or
already going for it.
Dapper can get onto the lockdown. Drone backs away, cutting noise. And they back away already. They're smart about this because they can get right back into the retake as soon as it flips.
They still have smokes. They still have a dash. Are they dashing into the back of sight? Here goes Tex. Tex is here, and he's looking to fight. Jonah P getting one. Spray in through Whippy. Tex does get one. Whippy here to save the day. Whippy. Oh my God. Oh my net. What a shot through the wall. 1v2 for Dapper is one away from the lockdown. Knows at least where net is. Valen.
There's a little more. Dapper just around the corner can get the lockdown. But Valen a little bit quicker and gives guard the lead. What a read from the guard, by the way. So quick to get into back sight. They back away so the Rolling Thunder doesn't hit them, and Tex is so quick to act. It's immediately into sight, and this fault line response spell is perfect. They know exactly the path that Oxy was looking for to get into sight.
Tex just hugging the wall, 2 players watching the cross. They had a line of sight on him. They were tracking him the whole time. Now G2.
Oh, hold on. Fault line already. Rolling Thunder in the mix here towards A, and that shocked our combination looking for damage. Doesn't get anything, unfortunately. And once more, the guard go deep down towards the C site. They want full control here.
No contact in garage. They are going to hear the owl drone. Person and snipers.
Hold on. Lockdown here for Dapper. Rolling Thunder to contest it. Where is the rotate from Jonah P? He's still sticking towards the A site. And G2,
they're not biting.
Honestly, no ground. They lost full control of A because of the fault line and the smoke. And now they've got to try and recuperate some form. And it's not going to be it. Nets! Finding 3 from garage window. You don't see that every day. No one wins fights from there but Net himself. And guard knocking onto double digits. There's no ults left over here for G2. They've got to make it work with just 2.
It's just an utter tragedy for G2. No matter how you look at it, one man in Nest, not able to take him down. They still have a whole lot of util under their belts. Potentially, if they can fake this side of the map, can maybe TP to A. But it would have to be a marathon, and they're still waiting for it too. Sova on the other side, Jet on the other side, even though they know that these players are in C.
There's a rolling thunder here as well, just to make this round even harder. No plant going in. Oh, it does.
Oh, it's in, it's in.
An opportunity, but Valorant just catching Whippy on the open, and nothing there Penny can do. Guard winning out another round, the full house from Valorant and Net.
That was the big one. That was the gun round.
That was everything. G2, what's the cash looking like? They have ultimates. Dapper still with his own. And Oxy, does he have his? He does, I think. He has his blade storm, so we have a buy here. Still for G2. But this is looking very, very similar to how Split played out. Coming down to the wire once more for G2. 4 ults here. 4 big ones. And it's a stinger buy here.
The ultis can carry those stingers, though. But look at C.
No one here to receive. It's just going to be another delay, another retake. Net is going to try and maintain garage control as best he can to make the retake happen. That seems to be the focus with the lockdown. But Oxy out mid. The guard fully compressed over towards A. What is this kind of play?
It's just delay, delay, delay. Keep these players in mid and have the guard flank on him.
Oh my god, there's just no way.
And he goes for it again. Double kill from Net. From out of thin air.
There's a plant, and there's a chance. The way Net is playing, it's pure vengeance. Shazam trying to maintain garage control to prevent the lockdown, but they're trying to retake garage control to get the lockdown in. But look at this, just hail of util. Not a chance in the world for that guy.
What do you do there if you're Shaz? 2 players in the back of sight trying to hold. They're all gone. A Sheets flawless for an 11th. G2, they will have a bye going into the next round.
Not a
but will
chance.
they after if they lose?
G2
flawless.
Giving guard an 11th round.
I love
They've been here before. They were literally here a map ago. With 4 ultimates, 3 ultimates now. How do you muster a win here? Guard
Swamp grenade.
with their own lockdown still in the mix, getting aggressive again towards the A side. No off. We've not seen an off of this half yet from either of these players. Between Tex and Oxy. Another C hit. Lurk up towards garage from Dapper.
The strongest C hold that we've seen.
Where's the Hunter Spirit gonna go though?
Man on the front side, Valen. Valen's in the middle of the nano. Did they see him? Did they see him? They're walking right into him. Valen!
Down C.
You gotta let the man have his space. The man can perform in that big of a fashion. Valen, all he needed was a smoke. All he needed was a nano. 3 kills for Valen. A Sheets flawless. G2's guns. They're gonna be scrappy going into the next, but this is map making for Valen.
And individual plays between him and Net have been putting this team, the guard, across the line in a lot of these rounds. They're expecting a hit here. This time Tex picks up the operator. And this time, he posts up here now towards the A site. Fault line holds them both back, and they try to fault line into Trent's Hunter's Fury. Thought he might have held that for a little bit longer. With a lockdown, possibly.
45
Lockdowns can be traded here. Lockdowns can very easily get traded here, but Shazam can break the opposing lockdown. So lockdown favors right now the G2 side. TPC's nothing.
The peak is gonna see nothing.
Forced to back away. There's nothing here for G2 on this A side. Where do they want to group back up? They still have Whippy in a nice spot. And I don't, you kind of have to clear this, I feel like.
Whippy is calling him back after the owl drone. Jonah peeking the wrong corner. Easy kill there for Whippy. Everyone else is still here. There goes the swing. Trent goes down. Tex still alive with the off. He goes again!
Getting away, he wants the peek. Rolling Thunder will catch him on the exit, but he gets away fine. 2 versus 3 now, and there's a flank already.
Look at the peek. Bang!
Oh,
Shazam!
No. And how
Huge
do
one
they
for
delay the
Shazam.
spike here? Valen, where's the peek? He doesn't fight. Shazam backs away towards long.
Timing!
Shazam might go down. Shazam down to 16 HP. And
Hunter's Fury.
The linchpin. And no chance for Shazam now. Lockdown's in effect. His Hunter's Fury's been nullified. He can't play it for the post. And they can just stick this.
He's
G2.
running.
Is that the series? Or do they stay alive? Is there a chance for Shazam here? No. Dodging every single one, and the defense just sucked the full way.
What?
Unless the shock.
No.
Doesn't hit in time. And Guard pushing us to a third map at 13-8.
A dominant finish from the Guard, but how many times do we see G2 push that to the brink?
I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
This is
G2. What a back and forth map. What a back and forth series we've had so far. The Guard pulling ahead at the tail end of Haven after going 8-8. It was back and forth throughout the first and second half, closed out in a heavy Guard favor.
It's just the fact that G2 did it in such dominating fashion, you still had the Guard doing it in dominating fashion. G2, however, they still had their moments. They still had the takes working, quote unquote, but once the Guard actually started to really close down on space, when that play from Valen came down, the 4-man push into A main, the garage hold from Nets, everything for the Guard just ended up working out in terms of their intention on defense.
It was a lot of individual performances coming out from the Guard. Net, Valen, and Trent, it feels like they have a vengeance to get to M80, but they have one more map to do it. Ascent, our final deciding map for this series. It's been back and forth all night long. And then in just a second, we'll have the decider. We're going to throw things to a break, and after we'll have the analyst test to set ourselves up for this final map.
Defenders